Welcome to Velvet Beauty Hub, your go-to destination for fashion stories that inspire. From iconic luxury labels to rising stars in the world of style, we take you behind the scenes to discover the people, the passion, and the philosophies that shape fashion today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Velvet Beauty Hub. I'm so excited to chat with you today because we're diving into something that's got the entire fashion world buzzing. The Spring 2026 menswear trends fresh off the runways from Milan, Paris, and Florence. And let me tell you, after years of feeling like menswear was in a bit of a funk, this season has me absolutely thrilled. The creativity, the energy, the sheer joy of fashion is back in such a big way, and I can't wait to share all the juicy details with you. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's talk about how men's fashion is having its major comeback moment. Okay, so let's start with probably the most eye-catching trend that literally brightened up every single runway. Yellow is absolutely everywhere. And I'm not talking about just a subtle hint here and there. We're talking full-on, unapologetic, school bus yellow moments that are impossible to ignore. At Prada, they went all out with these luxe tracksuits in the most gorgeous buttery yellow, paired with matching hats that honestly made me want to redesign my entire wardrobe. Hermes took a more sophisticated approach with these creamy, almost custard-like yellows that felt so elegant and refined. But here's where it gets really fun. Japanese brands like Maison Mihara Yasuhiro were literally serving us banana accessories, and Doublet was playing with iconic branding like Chiquita Bananas and Heinz Mustard. It's playful, it's bold, and it's giving major main character energy. Craig Green even had his models walking down a bright yellow runway with mustardy tones throughout the entire collection. The message is clear. If you want to stand out next spring, yellow is your color. And honestly, I'm here for it. Whether it's a statement piece or just a pop of color in your accessories, this trend is all about embracing joy and optimism through fashion. Now let's talk about something that's been quietly building momentum, but really exploded this season. Pleats are having their absolute moment. And this isn't just a coincidence. With Issey Miyake's Homme Plissé being the guest of honor at Pitti Uomo this year, it felt like the entire fashion world was paying homage to the master of pleats. The trend was literally everywhere you looked. At Prada, we saw these sharp, single pleats down the front of trousers and track pants that gave such a clean architectural feel. Louis Vuitton took inspiration from Indian sartorialism with these dramatic pleats that extended all the way up to the waistband. Absolutely stunning. But what I loved most was how designers were reimagining pleats in unexpected ways. Junya Watanabe and Cassimi created shirts with pleated paneling on the front that reminded me of formal tuxedo shirts. But with such a modern twist, Jonathan Anderson at Dior was drawing inspiration from the house's archives, specifically the Delft dress, to create these incredible pleated and multi-layered shorts. Even Comme des Garçons was getting creative with pleated bottoms, where zippers actually served as the pressed pleat lines. The beauty of this trend is that it's both timeless and incredibly contemporary. Pleats add movement, texture, and sophistication to any outfit. And the fact that brands like White Mountaineering were even incorporating pleating into leather shorts just shows how versatile this trend really is. If you thought stripes were just a classic that would never go out of style, this season proved that right in the most spectacular way. But we're not talking about your basic horizontal stripes here. Designers went absolutely wild with every type of stripe you can imagine. Giorgio Armani gave us diagonal stripes on jackets, chevron stripes on shirts, and those perfectly spaced pinstripes on suiting that just screamed sophistication. But then Louis Vuitton and Dior took it to another level entirely, with Bengal and Regency stripes appearing on everything from trousers to jackets to bags. The nautical influence was strong too, with Junya Watanabe bringing those classic sailor stripes, while brands like Amiri and Junjay were all about that pinstriped tailoring life. What really caught my attention was how Hermes elevated the trend with open-weave leather jackets, featuring two-tone stripes and leather pants with this incredible lattice work that created a striped effect. It was so innovative and luxurious. And can you talk about Dries Van Noten for a second? They literally gave us every type of stripe imaginable: patterned, sober, colorful, horizontal, vertical. It was like a masterclass in how to do stripes right. The takeaway here is that stripes are far from boring. They're a way to add visual interest, movement, and personality to your wardrobe. Whether you go bold with contrasting colors or keep it subtle with tonal variations. Let's talk shoes for a minute, because this might be one of my favorite trends of the entire season. After years of chunky, maximalist sneakers dominating everything, Spring 2026 is giving us this beautiful return to simplicity and timeless design. It's like fashion is taking a deep breath and saying, let's focus on what really works. The Canvas Deck sneaker is having its major moment. Prada showed these pre-distressed plimsoll style sneakers that looked like they had the perfect amount of wear already built in, so effortlessly cool. Dior had canvas sneakers with rubber soles, though Jonathan Anderson added his signature patterns to keep things interesting. Even Maison Mihara Yasuhiro, known for their cartoonish, over-the-top sneaker designs, scaled back to focus on cleaner profiles this season. But here's where it gets really interesting. Thong sandals are officially fashion-forward now. I'm talking about Hermes showing flip-flops with rope detailing around the sole, Louis Vuitton presenting them with thicker, more substantial soles, and even Kiko Konstantinov styling them with socks for that perfect fashion insider look. Officine Generale proved that a well-designed thong sandal can actually look chic enough for the office. This trend is all about embracing simplicity and letting quality materials and thoughtful design speak for themselves. It's refreshing, it's wearable, and it's proof that sometimes less really is more. Now here's a trend that's got my romantic heart absolutely singing. We're seeing this beautiful Regency-era influence that's bringing such elegance and drama to menswear. Think Bridgerton vibes, but make it 2026. This trend is all about those high-waisted trousers, flowing fabrics, and that undeniable sense of old-world charm mixed with modern sophistication. The silhouettes are giving us everything we loved about historical menswear, but updated for today's man. We're seeing longer jackets with more structured shoulders that create this amazing elongated silhouette. The attention to detail is incredible. From the way fabrics drape to the proportions of each piece, everything feels considered and intentional. What I love about this trend is how it's encouraging men to embrace a more theatrical, expressive side of fashion. It's romantic without being costumey, elegant without being stuffy. The color palette tends toward those rich, moody tones that feel both timeless and completely current. This is definitely a trend for the man who isn't afraid to make a statement and appreciates the artistry of fashion. It's about embracing beauty, refinement, and that touch of drama that makes getting dressed feel like an event. This next trend is honestly one of the most relatable and exciting things to come out of the Spring 2026 shows. The art of high-low mixing is being elevated to new heights. Designers are basically giving us permission to play with our wardrobes in the most creative ways possible. We're talking about pairing pajama shorts with designer jackets, casual sneakers with brocade blazers, track pants with beautifully cut jackets. It's this beautiful democratization of fashion, where the focus isn't on having the most expensive piece in your outfit, but on how creatively you can put things together. Wales Bonner was a perfect example of this philosophy in action. Grace Wales Bonner showed track pants paired with these incredibly well-cut jackets and sheer blouses tucked into low-slung baggy jeans. It felt so real, so wearable, so much like how people actually want to dress in their daily lives. The message from the runways was clear. Fashion should be about self-expression and creativity, not about following rigid rules about what goes with what. This trend is encouraging men to see their wardrobe as a playground, where a vintage t-shirt can look just as chic next to a designer blazer as an expensive shirt would. It's about confidence, personal style, and understanding that good fashion is more about the styling than the price tag. Simon Longland from Harrods summed it up perfectly when he said the collections were rooted in beauty but grounded in real clothes, designed for real lives. That's exactly what this trend represents. One of the most exciting developments this season is how designers are completely breaking down traditional gender barriers in fashion. The Spring 2026 collections were filled with pieces that can be worn across any gender. And honestly, it feels like fashion is finally catching up to how people actually want to dress and express themselves. Saint Laurent's Anthony Vaccarello has been leading this charge beautifully, creating bold-shouldered suiting that works just as well for women and those absolutely stunning over-the-knee leather boots that have become coveted by fashion lovers regardless of gender. At the men's show in Paris, seeing Gabriette in the audience was like watching the perfect embodiment of how these pieces translate across gender lines. Jonathan Anderson's debut at Dior was another standout moment. He took iconic pieces like the New Look and the famous Delft dress and reinterpreted them into subtly shaped, structured jackets and these amazing, voluminously pleated cargo shorts. It's this beautiful conversation between menswear and womenswear that feels so natural and contemporary. What I love about this trend is that it's not about erasing gender in fashion, but about expanding the possibilities for everyone. It's about choosing pieces that make you feel confident and authentic, regardless of which section of the store they came from. This movement toward more inclusive, fluid fashion feels like such a positive step forward, and I'm excited to see how it continues to evolve. Let's talk about something that's becoming increasingly important in fashion: the celebration of craftsmanship and artisanal techniques. This season, there was such a beautiful focus on highlighting the skilled work that goes into creating truly exceptional pieces. Throughout Milan and Paris, we saw brands like Santoni, Brioni, Montblanc, and Churches actually exhibiting their specialized skills alongside their new collections. It was like getting a behind-the-scenes look at the magic that happens before these pieces reach the runway. The message was clear. In a world of fast fashion and mass production, there's something incredibly special about pieces that are made by hand with generations of knowledge and skill. Hong Plissé Issey Miyake took this concept even further by mounting an exhibition alongside their runway show, specifically to educate people about their signature pleating technique. They displayed the actual tools and machinery used in their manufacturing process, along with more abstract sculptural pieces that explored the future possibilities of pleated fabric. It was fashion as art, fashion as education, fashion as celebration of human creativity and skill. This trend toward transparency and appreciation of craft feels so important right now. It's about understanding and valuing the work that goes into creating beautiful things. When you invest in pieces that showcase this level of craftsmanship, you're not just buying clothes. You're supporting artisans, preserving traditional techniques, and choosing quality over quantity. It's a more mindful approach to fashion consumption that feels both luxurious and responsible. Now that we've covered all these incredible trends, let's talk about how you can actually incorporate them into your everyday wardrobe without looking like you're wearing a costume. The beauty of these spring 2026 trends is that they're surprisingly wearable and can be adapted to fit any lifestyle or budget. Starting with yellow, if a full yellow tracksuit feels like too much, try incorporating the color through accessories. A yellow pocket square, a mustard-colored belt, or even yellow sneakers can give you that pop of optimism without overwhelming your look. For pleats, start small with a pleated front shirt or look for trousers with subtle pleated details. The key is choosing pieces where the pleating enhances the silhouette rather than dominating it. Stripes are probably the easiest trend to embrace. Swap your solid basics for striped versions, or try layering different stripe patterns for a more advanced look. Just remember to keep the rest of your outfit simple when you're playing with bold patterns. The minimalist footwear trend is perfect for anyone who wants to invest in quality basics. A great pair of canvas sneakers or simple leather sandals will serve you well beyond just one season. For the high-low mixing trend, start by pairing one elevated piece with something more casual. Try wearing your best blazer with jeans and sneakers, or dress up a simple t-shirt with tailored trousers and nice shoes. The key is confidence. If you feel good in what you're wearing, it shows. Remember, fashion should be fun and personal. These trends are meant to inspire you, not restrict you. Take what speaks to you, adapt it to your lifestyle, and make it your own. Before we wrap up, I have to give some special recognition to the designers who really knocked it out of the park this season. Jonathan Anderson's debut at Dior was absolutely everything we hoped it would be and more. The way he honored the house's heritage while bringing his own innovative vision was masterful. Watching him reinterpret classic Dior codes for menswear felt like witnessing fashion history in the making. Miuccia Prada and Raf Simons continue to be the dream team we never knew we needed. Their spring 2026 collection was rooted in simple, unfussy silhouettes, but those tiny mini shorts and perfectly executed pleats showed why their collaboration is so special. They understand how to make the complex look effortless. Grace Wales Bonner deserves major recognition for creating clothes that feel both aspirational and completely wearable. Her ability to blend tailoring with streetwear influences while maintaining such a strong aesthetic point of view is truly impressive. Anthony Vaccarello at Saint Laurent continues to prove why he's one of the most important voices in fashion right now. His use of color this season, those aubergine purples, mustards, burnt oranges, and mint greens, was absolutely stunning. And can we talk about Craig Green's return to Paris Fashion Week? Having his models walk down that yellow runway was such a bold, artistic statement that perfectly encapsulated his vision. These designers are pushing boundaries, challenging conventions, and creating beautiful clothes that make us excited about fashion again. They're reminding us why we fell in love with this industry in the first place. Because at its best, fashion is art, storytelling, and self-expression all rolled into one. What's really exciting about these spring 2026 trends is how they reflect broader cultural shifts that are happening right now. The return to craftsmanship and artisanal techniques speaks to our growing desire for authenticity and quality in an increasingly digital world. People want to connect with the stories behind their clothes, to understand the hands that made them and the traditions they represent. The gender-fluid fashion movement reflects our evolving understanding of identity and self-expression. Fashion is becoming more inclusive, more diverse, and more representative of how people actually live their lives. It's beautiful to see an industry that has historically been quite rigid in its categories becoming more fluid and accepting. The high-low mixing trend speaks to a more democratic approach to style. It's about creativity and personal expression rather than economic status. It's saying that good style isn't about how much you spend, but about how thoughtfully you put things together. Even the return of bright, optimistic colors like yellow feels significant. After years of uncertainty and challenges, there's something powerful about choosing joy, brightness, and positivity through our clothing choices. Fashion has always been a reflection of the times we're living in, and these trends suggest we're entering a more hopeful, creative, and inclusive era. It's fashion that's not afraid to take risks, embrace individuality, and celebrate the artistry of getting dressed. That's the kind of fashion movement I can get behind. Let's get practical for a moment and talk about how to shop these trends smart. If you're working with a budget, and honestly, who isn't these days? The key is to invest strategically. For the yellow trend, start with accessories or one statement piece that you can style multiple ways. A good yellow shirt or sweater can be dressed up or down and will give you that trendy pop of color without breaking the bank. For pleats, look for vintage or second-hand pieces. Pleated trousers from the 80s and 90s are having their moment again, and you can often find great pieces at a fraction of the retail price. The stripe trend is perfect for budget-conscious shopping because stripes are everywhere and at every price point. You can find great striped shirts at fast fashion retailers or invest in higher quality pieces that will last for years. The minimalist footwear trend is actually great for your wallet in the long run. Instead of chasing every sneaker trend, invest in one or two pairs of high-quality, simple shoes that will work with everything and last for years. Canvas sneakers and simple leather sandals are timeless investments. If you want to splurge on one piece, I'd recommend focusing on a well-made blazer or jacket that you can use for the high-low mixing trend. A great blazer can elevate any outfit and is worth investing in quality, construction, and fabric. Remember, sustainable fashion is also about buying less, but buying better. Choose pieces that speak to your personal style and that you'll want to wear for years to come. The best trend is the one that makes you feel confident and authentic. As we look ahead, I think these spring 2026 trends are setting the stage for some really exciting developments in menswear. The emphasis on craftsmanship and artisanal techniques suggests we're going to see more collaboration between fashion brands and traditional craftspeople. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more limited edition pieces that tell the story of their creation and the people who made them. The gender-fluid fashion movement is only going to continue growing. I think we'll see more brands launching truly unisex collections rather than just adapting existing pieces. This could lead to some really innovative design solutions and new ways of thinking about fit and function. The success of the high-low mixing trend suggests that fashion is becoming more democratic and accessible. I predict we'll see more collaborations between high-end designers and accessible brands, making good design available to a wider audience. Technology is also going to play a bigger role. The pleating techniques we saw this season, especially from brands like Issey Miyake, are pushing the boundaries of what's possible with fabric manipulation. I think we'll see more integration of technology into traditional fashion techniques. Sustainability will continue to be a driving force. The appreciation for quality and craftsmanship we saw this season aligns with the growing awareness of fashion's environmental impact. I think we'll see more emphasis on pieces that are designed to last, that can be repaired rather than replaced, and that have timeless appeal. The future of menswear looks bright, creative, and inclusive. These trends are just the beginning of what feels like a real renaissance in men's fashion. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the spring 2026 menswear trends. I hope this conversation has gotten you as excited about the future of men's fashion as I am. From those gorgeous yellows to the artful pleats, from gender-fluid designs to the celebration of craftsmanship, this season really proved that menswear is having its moment. Remember, trends are meant to inspire you, not dictate your style. Take what speaks to you, adapt it to your life, and most importantly, have fun with fashion. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Velvet Beauty Hub for more fashion stories that inspire. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. I'd love to hear which of these trends you're most excited to try. Drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. What trend are you planning to incorporate into your wardrobe? Are you team yellow, team pleats, or are you most excited about that high-low mixing? Until next time, keep expressing yourselves through fashion. Keep celebrating creativity, and remember that the best style is the one that makes you feel like the most authentic version of yourself. Thanks for joining me on Velvet Beauty Hub, and I'll see you in the next episode.